nuclear-powered aircraft carriers, independent nuclear deterrence, advanced fourth-generation fighters, fifth-generation stealth capabilities, expeditionary forces deployed worldwide. France and the United Kingdom are Europe's only two true military powers, but which one actually leads? This isn't about total troop numbers or defense budgets. It's about power projection, technological independence, combat capability, and the will to use military force. Both nations maintain global military reach that no other European power can match. Both possess capabilities that most nations can only dream of, but they've chosen fundamentally different paths. Welcome back to Project Aerospace. Today, we're examining one of Europe's most fascinating military rivalries. France and the UK have been competing for military prestige for centuries, but in 2025, this competition takes very modern forms. Stealth fighters versus omni-role champions, supercarriers with different philosophies, and critically different approaches to strategic independence. By the end of this video, you'll understand the current balance of military power between these European giants, their radically different strategic philosophies, where each holds decisive advantages, and what this means for European security in an increasingly dangerous world. If you're here for serious analysis of Europe's most capable military powers, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Today's deep dive reveals who really leads Europe's military might. Let's start where Project Aerospace always begins, with the aircraft. Both France and UK operate advanced fourth-generation fighters, but they've made very different choices about their combat aviation futures. France operates the Dassault Rafale as its primary combat aircraft. According to 2025 data, France has 270 combat aircraft, including 99 Mirage 2000s being phased out and 100 Rafales in service. But the Rafale numbers are rapidly growing. France delivered 21 Rafale fighters in 2024 compared to 13 in 2023, with France's total Rafale orders reaching 234 aircraft as of January 2024. The Rafale is powered by two M88-2 turbofan engines, allowing maximum speed of 1,800 km per hour, with a remarkable range of 3,700 km for long-duration missions without frequent refueling. France has declared its intention to operate only the Rafale as its sole combat aircraft, retiring all Mirage 2000s to create a streamlined, highly capable, single-type fighter force. The United Kingdom takes a different approach. The Royal Air Force operates approximately 120 Eurofighter Typhoons as its primary air superiority platform. The Typhoon forms the backbone of the RAF capabilities, fulfilling air superiority missions from quick reaction alerts over the Falkland Islands to NATO air policing in the Baltic and Black Sea regions. But here's where things get interesting. The UK is supplementing Typhoons with F-35B Lightning II stealth fighters. By May 2025, the UK anticipated having 41 F-35Bs in inventory, with the first batch of 48 minus one lost in 2021 completing delivery in 2025. The RAF has also acquired 12 new F-35A conventional takeoff variants. This creates a fundamental difference in philosophy. France chose total independence with an entirely domestic fighter, accepting that the Rafale lacks the stealth characteristics of fifth-generation aircraft. The UK chose international cooperation on the F-35 program, gaining stealth capability while sacrificing some industrial independence. In pure numbers, the forces are roughly comparable, around 200-plus combat aircraft each, but France will have a more homogeneous force optimized around the highly capable Rafale, while the UK combines the Typhoon's air superiority with F-35 stealth penetration. Different solutions to the same problem, neither obviously superior to the other. One critical factor: combat experience. French Rafales have conducted extensive combat operations over Libya, Mali, Syria, and Iraq. UK Typhoons have similar combat records. Both air forces are combat-tested, operationally experienced forces, not parade ground militaries. Now let's talk about where the most significant capability differences exist: aircraft carriers. Both nations operate carriers, but they represent fundamentally different philosophies about naval aviation and power projection. France operates a single nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, Charles de Gaulle, commissioned in 2001, This 42,000-ton vessel operates approximately 30 to 40 aircraft, including the Rafale M and E-2C Hawkeye early warning aircraft. Nuclear propulsion gives Charles de Gaulle effectively unlimited range and endurance, limited only by crew sustainability and aircraft fuel. The nuclear propulsion is strategically critical. Charles de Gaulle can sustain high-speed operations indefinitely without refueling, provide unlimited electrical power for sensors and weapons, and operate for 25-plus years between reactor refuelings. This gives France truly independent expeditionary capability. The United Kingdom operates two Queen Elizabeth-class carriers, HMS Queen Elizabeth and HMS Prince of Wales. These are significantly larger than Charles de Gaulle at 65,000 tons, making them the largest warships ever built for the Royal Navy. Each can operate up to 40 aircraft, primarily the F-35B Lightning IIs. But here's the critical difference. The Queen Elizabeth class uses conventional gas turbine propulsion rather than nuclear power. They require regular refueling, limiting operational independence. However, they're also significantly larger, capable of higher aircraft sortie rates, and there are two of them, providing operational redundancy. France's approach prioritizes strategic independence through nuclear power, but accepts the limitation of having only one carrier, meaning France has no carrier capability when Charles de Gaulle is in maintenance. The UK prioritizes operational availability through two carriers, but accepts dependence on logistical support. There's another major difference: catapults. Charles de Gaulle uses steam catapults, allowing it to operate conventional aircraft like the E-2C Hawkeye early warning aircraft. The Queen Elizabeth class uses ski jump ramps, limiting it to short takeoff and vertical landing aircraft like the F-35B. This matters enormously for capability. Catapult-launched aircraft can carry heavier payloads and operate at higher gross weights. They can launch with more fuel and weapons, extending range and combat effectiveness. The UK's ski jump limitation means F-35Bs operate with reduced capabilities compared to the F-35A and/or C variants. Both approaches have merit, but France's nuclear-powered carrier with catapults represents a more capable platform when it's available. The UK's two carriers provide better operational continuity, but with individually less capable ships. Both France and the UK possess independent nuclear deterrence delivered via submarine-launched ballistic missiles, a capability that elevates them far above other European nations, but their approaches to nuclear strategy differ significantly. France maintains a comprehensive nuclear triad with submarine-launched ballistic missiles, air-launched cruise missiles carried by Rafale fighters, and until recently, land-based components. The French nuclear deterrent is entirely independent. France designed, built, and maintains all systems domestically with no foreign involvement. France operates 4 Triomphant-class nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarines with one always-on deterrent patrol. These submarines carry M51 submarine-launched ballistic missiles with multiple, independently targetable re-entry vehicles, entirely French-designed systems. The United Kingdom also maintains continuous at-sea deterrent with 4 Vanguard-class nuclear submarines carrying Trident II D5 missiles. However, the UK's nuclear deterrent uses American Trident missiles, making it technically dependent on US support, though the warheads are British design. This represents perhaps the most fundamental difference in strategic philosophy. France prioritizes total independence, developing entirely domestic nuclear systems at enormous cost. The UK prioritizes cost-effectiveness, accepting dependence on American missile technology while maintaining independence in warhead design and targeting. Both approaches successfully provide credible nuclear deterrence, the ability to inflict unacceptable damage on any adversary. But France can legitimately claim total strategic independence, while the UK's deterrent has an American component that theoretically could be withheld in extreme circumstances. For international prestige and strategic autonomy, France's entirely independent deterrent represents a significant advantage. For practical deterrence against any realistic adversary, both systems are equally effective. The carrier and nuclear differences reflect deeper strategic philosophies. France pursues maximum industrial independence, while the UK embraces international cooperation. Both approaches have significant advantages and limitations. France maintains one of the world's most comprehensive independent defense industries. Dassault Aviation designs and builds the Rafale entirely in France. Thales produces advanced electronics and sensors. Naval Group builds nuclear submarines and aircraft carriers. MBDA develops missiles. France can design, build, and maintain virtually all military systems domestically. This independence comes at an enormous cost. France spends heavily to maintain capabilities that could be purchased more cheaply through international cooperation. Defense experts are critical. France achieved $19 billion in defense exports in 2024, with Rafale sales to countries like Egypt, Qatar, India, and others subsidizing domestic production. The United Kingdom takes a different approach. The Typhoon is built through European cooperation with Germany, Italy, and Spain. The F-35 is an American program with British participation. British defense industry focuses on areas where the UK has competitive advantages, like BAE Systems' work on combat aircraft, electronic warfare, and advanced materials. The cooperation provides access to capabilities the UK couldn't afford to develop alone. The F-35 gives Britain stealth technology that would cost hundreds of billions of dollars to develop independently. The Typhoon Consortium shared development costs across multiple nations, but it also means the UK lacks the ability to independently design and build major weapon systems. There's a deeper issue: control over military operations. France can conduct military operations anywhere without seeking permission from supplier nations. French Rafales can strike targets without American approval. Charles de Gaulle can deploy without coordinating with allies. The UK theoretically could face restrictions. American-supplied F-35s come with technology transfer restrictions and potential operational limitations. In practice, the US-UK special relationship means such restrictions are unlikely, but the theoretical vulnerability exists. However, the UK gains significant benefits from alliance integration, access to American intelligence, logistics support, and operational coordination provides capabilities that France cannot match alone. Joint operations with the U.S. military give British forces force multiplication that independent French operations lack. Both nations have made rational choices based on their strategic priorities. France choosing autonomy even at a high cost, the UK choosing alliance benefits even at some loss of independence. Both France and the UK maintain genuine expeditionary capabilities, the ability to project military power far from home. This separates them from virtually all other European nations, but they project power differently. France maintains a network of overseas bases and territories that provide global military presence. Forces are permanently stationed in Djibouti, United Arab Emirates, Senegal, Gabon, Ivory Coast, and French territories worldwide. This forward presence allows rapid response to crises across Africa, the Middle East, and Indo-Pacific. French forces regularly conduct operations in Africa, the Sahel region, Central African Republic, and other locations where France intervenes to protect its interests and support regional stability. Operation Barkhane in Mali and Operation Shamal against ISIS demonstrate France's willingness to conduct sustained military operations far from home. The United Kingdom maintains fewer permanent overseas bases, but strategically important ones. British forces in Cyprus, Gibraltar, the Falklands, Diego Garcia, and Brunei provide global presence. The UK also benefits from the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance and close U.S. cooperation that provides access to American bases and logistics. Both nations demonstrated expeditionary capability during the 2011 Libya intervention, where French and British forces conducted air operations from bases in their own countries and from carriers in the Mediterranean. Both can sustain medium-scale operations far from home for extended periods. However, France conducts expeditionary operations more frequently and with less need for Allied support. French forces have intervened in Africa repeatedly without requiring extensive coalition support. The UK typically operates as part of coalitions, providing capable forces but usually not as the lead nation. This reflects different strategic cultures. France sees itself as an independent great power willing to act unilaterally when necessary. The UK sees itself as a key alliance member that punches above its weight through coalition operations. So after examining air power, naval capabilities, nuclear forces, industrial bases, and expeditionary operations, who really leads Europeans' military power? The answer is more nuanced than a simple winner or loser. In pure combat capability, the forces are remarkably comparable. France operates roughly 200-plus combat aircraft, mostly advanced Rafales. The UK operates 120 Typhoons plus a growing number of F-35s. Both air forces are modern, capable, and combat experienced. Neither has a decisive advantage. In naval power, France has the edge with its nuclear-powered carrier providing genuinely independent power projection. The UK's two larger carriers provide better operational availability, but with less capable conventional propulsion. Both nations can project naval air power globally. France more independently, the UK with greater surge capacity. In nuclear deterrence, both nations possess credible submarine-based deterrence. France's is entirely independent, while the UK relies partially on American technology. For actual deterrent purposes, both are equally effective. For strategic prestige, France's independence provides an advantage. In industrial capability, France clearly leads with comprehensive domestic defense production. This comes at an enormous cost, but provides strategic autonomy. The UK's alliance-based approach provides access to superior technologies at lower cost, but with some dependence on partners. The real answer is that France and the UK represent two equally valid but fundamentally different approaches to military power. France prioritizes strategic independence and autonomous action, accepting higher costs and some capability limitations. The UK prioritizes alliance integration and cost effectiveness, accepting some dependence on partners. Neither approach is superior in all circumstances. In scenarios requiring independent action without Allied support, France has advantages. In scenarios where Allied cooperation is available, the UK benefits from deeper integration with the world's most powerful military. Both nations are genuine military powers capable of projecting force globally, a capability no other European nation truly possesses. The question isn't who leads Europe's military power, it's which approach to military power better serves national interests. France versus UK. Who really leads Europe's military power? After comprehensive analysis, the honest answer is both do, through fundamentally different paths to comparable capabilities. France pursues strategic independence at enormous cost, developing domestic alternatives to American systems. The result is an entirely independent military capable of unilateral action anywhere in the world. The UK embraced alliance integration, gaining access to cutting-edge capabilities while accepting some dependence on partners. What matters for European security is that both nations maintain serious military capabilities when most European countries have allowed their militaries to atrophy. France and the UK are the only European nations capable of projecting significant military power beyond their borders. Both possess nuclear deterrence, modern air forces, and expeditionary capabilities. If this deep analysis of France versus UK military power gave you new perspective on European security, hit that like button and subscribe to Project Aerospace for more balanced analysis of global military power. Which approach do you think is better? French independence or UK alliance integration? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, remember, France and the UK have chosen different paths to military power, but both remain Europe's only true military heavyweights. In an increasingly dangerous world, Europe needs both approaches. This is Christopher Wales for Project Aerospace signing off.